My first sexual assault was by a pastor at the age of 18. So
Jesus.
I already have that mindset that everybody is out there to abuse me. Everybody is out there to take advantage of me. Nobody loves me. So I'm always struggling to make people love me. Oh, what can I do to make them love me? Oh, am I perfect enough? Am I good enough? And that's what happens when you see people in healthy relationships and the partner is saying, I am showing this woman love, I'm showing this man love, and she's just rejecting it and she's just declining it. It's because they are not aware. They don't even know what love is. They were not modeled to understand unconditional love. If you are in a relationship with a narcissistic person, you will consistently doubt yourself. You will always tell yourself, no, I'm not making sense, because each time you go back to the person and say, oh, I feel you are doing this to me, they will gaslight you and make you doubt your reality. Do you understand? And so I have become a shadow of myself, that I no longer trust my own judgment.
Trust your judgment.
You need to be that resolute with yourself to trust yourself. The unstoppable woman is the woman that trusts her own judgment to say, I took an informed decision and nobody can change my mind. I took an informed decision and nothing. I came to Abuja without knowing anybody. When I was booking my flight to relocate from Lagos to Abuja and start based on instruction, I did not have an accommodation of where I was going to land. Do you understand?
Wow.
I'm not joking. But because I heard God and I was convinced, I booked my flight by the way. So the unstoppable woman is one that believes that I heard God. It's not my pastor told me. It's not my
it is you knowing God for yourself and hearing
Absolutely.
yourself.
So you have to get to that place where I have taken decision of my own. I have seen the repercussion. When I lost my previous accommodation to flood, that very night that it happened, I was doing a webinar. I was live on Zoom doing a webinar. Yes. The woman was like, Greatness, are you a normal human being? Are you all right? I said, that is a distraction.
Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to this episode of the Unstoppable Woman series. I'm so excited today because I have a wonderful guest in the house. You know, I'm so excited. I don't even know how to, I can't hide it. I want to welcome Greatness Olorunfemi. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I remember we met at Speak for Gold, and I have followed you ever since. You know, you've been doing phenomenal things. You've been doing amazing things. You're doing so many wonderful things. As you know, so I'm looking at that. She's young, but she is soaring. She's flying. She's doing amazing things.
I need people on Instagram to see your face as you are saying that.
No, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. And you know, this episode is just after I'm celebrating 100 episodes of having this podcast. And so I remember I was like, okay, what next? And God said to me, The Unstoppable Woman. And I heard that this woman series. I'm like, okay, well, how is that going to come about? So women that are actually able to thrive beyond all odds. So we're looking at various women. We're going to have different women coming here and sharing their stories. Because like I think I shared about 2 podcasts ago about the power of stories. People don't realize how we can leverage stories.
And sorry to interrupt you. I love that thing you said when you said, if you have a story, you have a book. I was like, wow. Yeah. Powerful, right?
Yeah, it is. Because our stories really, a lot of people see their stories like, oh, my story is just one mess. It's just a part of my life. But really, can you teach somebody what you've gone through and you've been able to come out from, and they can use that same blueprint.
Absolutely.
So
I said in my book,
you have a book, like your book, which I'm going to talk about.
So thank you. I just want to confirm what you just said. So I said this thing. I said inside every human being is an author. Every human being is supposed to be an author, because our BVN shows that we are actually different, right? And So because we are different, also we are supposed to release a book for our story because our story is unique, you know. And so if you leave this world and you did not write your story, you have failed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes.
And can you imagine if you leave this world and nobody learns what your journey has been? It's almost like you're robbing. I always say you're robbing someone of so much. You're robbing a generation almost.
Absolutely.
You're robbing generations.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing. I truly, that's a new one I can use on. and then we give the credits to you. Inside each one of us is an author. That's powerful.
Please.
Powerful.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome to be hosting you as one of the unstoppable women today. I'm excited.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. And
I'm
I want to introduce yourself informally. You know, I was saying to you before we started the podcast, I was like, I have seen the many certifications I've been able to garner over the years at such a young age. But informally, the way you just look at greatness, to start with, your name is a big one. Every time I'm like, wow, someone's name is greatness. You have to be great. You don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice, right? Oh God.
So I don't have a choice. Greatness, who would you say greatness is as a person?
Okay, well, I'm a creative multi-potentialite. That's how I would just call myself. So a creative multi-potentialite because I express my creativity in different ways. My power is in my brain. I usually say that I am not the regular woman that you expect every woman to, always believe that, oh, this is how a house is supposed to be arranged. This is how, do you understand?
I'm not that.
Yes. So, but my creativity is more of in problem solving. Does it make sense? So I'm a creative multi-potential. I can express my creative across different dimensions. So I'm very passionate about family life. I'm very passionate about family life because I believe that family is the bedrock of the society. I believe that if the family gets it right, there's a ripple effect across all the other spheres of influence. And so that is why I'm passionate about that. However, it would be unrealistic for me to just say, I'm going to stay in the niche of family. So I see how my creativity spread across different spheres of influence. So for example, we are currently using the media to project this message, right? Education is another sphere of influence that I believe that a lot of family have delegated the duty to education. And so parents can spend on like ridiculous amounts just to get quality education for their children because they know that that child can get what is required to unleash their greatness in life. And so that's just how I would introduce myself. I'm a creative multi-potentialite. So today you can see me hosting a beach hangout, for example, in 2 weeks time. I'm doing that in Lagos. You can see me host an event.
You're a teen coach, a teen and young adult
exactly.
coach.
I was trained by the United Nations to work with teenagers. And so I basically just do my work to help people. I say that I was born to help people unleash their greatness, irrespective of their past and present.
We have a lot in common.
Yes.
So much in common.
Yes, we do.
Wow. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. Next question. Can you tell us 2 fun facts about you?
Fun fact about me, I am big, but I don't eat.
How do you get that? How does that happen?
Gene, right? My mom is but it's not like I'm fat because my
you just have big bones, maybe.
Yes, my friend said I'm elegant, that I'm not fat, so I should stop calling myself fat. So I am big, but I don't eat. The entire day, usually I can just force myself to take a meal, which sometimes can be cereal. Yeah, so my friend would say, yeah, actually dragging cereal with my children.
I was going to say that you sound like my daughter, because she can have cereal morning, afternoon, night, just having cereal.
I know, right? Yeah, so that's that. That's one. Then second fun fact about me is that if I have all the money in the world, I'll travel around the world.
That's why I say we have a lot in common. I love to travel too, so we.
Interesting.
Oh wow! The money is coming, so you can travel around the world.
I receive it with thanksgiving. I mean, one other fun fact which I would have mentioned, which is, but because it's why we're here, I don't need to say, is something weird. Whenever I say, oh, one fun fact about me is that I canceled my wedding 7 days to the event, everybody else goes, whoa. Like,
which we're coming to.
That's why we are coming, exactly. So there's no point saying it on this call, right?
But that is a fun fact because, like, wow, who does that? So I'm going to ask you that question.
I've heard that a lot.
That brings us to, because we're talking about leveraging our pain, to unleash our greatness. And I'm going to start off with that, what you just said now. So how could you even imagine canceling your wedding 7 days to the event? What made you take that decision? What made you take that decision?
I mean, so what made me take the decision is that if you're on the wrong path, I'm not sure if you have watched my interview with Chude or Chu, depending on.
I watched a little bit of it.
Exactly. What Chude said something which is actually my own belief. No matter how far you have gone on the wrong path, the day you realize that you're on the wrong path, that is the day you should just take a U-turn.
Yeah.
And I usually say something to people that if technology is as limited as when you take a wrong path, you can be rerouted back to the right path. Of course, you are aware of Google Map, right? Most times we ignore Google Map and then we follow a path we claim
to know.
And we now discover that, the ETA is estimated time of arrival, just in case someone doesn't know.
It's increasing.
Sadly, then you say, I think I'm on the wrong path, right? But what happens to Google Map is that it reroutes you. But you have to still take that decision to say, I have to now turn and follow the GPS to the right path. So I realized 10 days to the wedding that this is a wrong decision. This decision of getting married to this man is going to kill me. In fact, I was already contemplating suicide in that courtship. I was already thinking that if I get married, maybe I should kill him, or maybe I should poison myself. And
you are not even in the marriage yet.
No.
Wow.
We hear these things that couples, a spouse kill their partner. I'm going to the Nigeria prison tomorrow, and when I made inquiries, when I went to the headquarters to make inquiries to say, okay, these women are in prison with their children. What was their offense? And they told me, greatness, 99.5% of them was murder case. They killed their spouse or someone that they caught cheating or something with their spouse. And so you see how the level of bitterness can actually lead to murder, right? And so for me, it was just, I realized 10 days to the wedding that this is the wrong decision. 7 days to the event, I told everybody, I'm sorry, the wedding is postponed indefinitely. And of course, we know that it never held again.
So just to let our viewers in a little bit, can you take us to the start of that story a little bit? And when I say that, I say, the topic is rescued by love. That's the name of your first book, Rescued by Love. Yes. How I canceled my wedding. So, there you have it there. Rescued. Every time I see that Rescued by Love, I know I love it. I always wonder, what was the start of that journey? Like, you met this guy, so just kind of give us an idea of what the scenario was like.
So anytime I share my story, and when I wrote my book, people that have not read my book always assume the book is about him. But the focus of my story and my book is not about the guy. And I'll explain why to you. Now, From Lemon to Lemonade, How to Use Your Pain to Unleash Your Greatness is a story on abuse, how to identify abuse, how to recover from abuse, how to stay mentally healthy and all of that. And why did I share this thing is because when there is an abuse, a lot of us blame the abuser. But what we don't know is that abuse will only happen when the victim enables the abuser. They are both parties to the abuse happening. If you do not enable the abuse, it will not happen. The perpetrator is not as powerful, is not more powerful than the victim. They are both powerful. They both have the same power. So I wrote my story to carry people along the journey of my life. Chapter 1 was titled Everybody Needs Love, to say that I established the fact that when you give birth to a child, that child's definition of love is founded in the home.
Yeah.
If your child believes that I have to earn mommy's love, I have to earn daddy's love, you have raised a dysfunctional child. So chapter 2 then is I search for love in wrong places. So it's about my journey. It's about my journey of I search for love in wrong places because I didn't find unconditional love in the home. Yes, at the point my dad was my superhero, he was my lover, he was my everything. But when I was 13, things changed, and I detailed the story in the book, right? And this search for love, so I was looking for love in either pastors or mentors or teachers or this person, or
just in the wrong places.
Exactly, right? Which now led me to chapter 3, which I titled I Found Love But I Didn't Recognize It. There I established the fact that I was in a healthy relationship. This guy was the first person to tell me, and that's why you see an atlas on my background. He told me that greatness, you're going to be speaking, you're going to be writing, you're going to be traveling around the world and ministering. And I'm like, no, that's not me. He said, You're going to be sharing the story, you're going to be inspiring other ladies. At a point, ASU strike, I couldn't stay in the hostel. They chased us out of the hostel. I was in the same room, a room self-contained, with this guy. This guy never touched me, never kissed me. He always tell me, you are a role model to other women. You have to model chastity. You have to model sexual purity to them. But the point is, I never believed him. I just thought that he was like the regular guy. My first sexual assault was by a pastor at the age of 18. So Jesus. I already have that mindset that everybody is out there to abuse me. Everybody is out there to take advantage of me. Nobody loves me. So I'm always struggling to make people love me. Oh, what can I do to make them love me? Oh, am I perfect enough? Am I good enough? Am I this enough? So I titled that chapter, I Found Love, But I Didn't Recognize It. Now, chapter 4, I became self-aware because when I ended friendship with this guy, I start, and you know the way it is, victims of abuse feel that they were subdued, they were this, they were that. So I started, anytime I would say, oh, where's Dr. G? He's a medical doctor, and his first name is his first name the first letter
starts with G.
Yeah. So whenever people say, oh, where's Dr. G? I'll say, oh, he left me. And everybody cannot be wrong. When everybody started telling me, greatness, he cannot leave you, he loves you. And I then had to self-introspect to say, greatness, everybody cannot be wrong, and saying that this guy loves you, and you were feeling that he never loved you. Now, I wrote in the book, I'll share this one case study. At a point, this guy will wake up, before I wake up, he will wake up and my breakfast is ready. Wow. And he will tell me, I'm telling you today that it's part of the reason why I'm spoiled. I am spoiled. He told me, he said, the time you'll be going to the market to negotiate and be buying things, you will finish a book. You will either finish reading.
So he was your personal development coach.
Exactly. But you know, I was not responding to this guy's love. I just kept on anticipating that one day he's going to abuse me. And that's what happens when you see people in healthy relationships and the partner is saying, I am showing this woman love, I'm showing this man love, and she's just rejecting it and she's just declining it. It's because they are not aware. They don't even know what love is. They were not modeled to understand unconditional love, right? And so this guy would cook for me. At the point I left his house, I went to my female friend's house, and he would travel from his house and come to my friend's house with food in a flask. And right in his presence, I would trash the food in the dustbin. I'll say, you have put something. You cannot. Why will someone just be nice to me like this?
Just had this mindset that there had to be something else, or they had to. Wow.
Yeah. And there are still people like that. I work with clients across 32 states in Nigeria and 4 continents. I've met clients that say, I have done everything for this woman and she's not just responding. And I understand where she's coming from. So then chapter 4 was now I became self-aware because I felt I had to now tell myself, everybody cannot be wrong. If everybody is saying, this guy loved you,
then the problem is you.
Exactly. So I usually say that if you were raised in a healthy home, if you were raised with unconditional love, please be kinder to those of us that were raised in a dysfunctional home. I am aware that some of us are not self-aware to know that we are dysfunctional and we are hurting you, because as we all know, hurting people hurt others, right?
Others, yeah.
Just be kind to us, be more gracious to us, till we get self-aware. Because what you don't know is that the love you show us, my NGO is registered with CAC as Greatness Unleashed by Love Foundation. And I believe that people can unleash their greatness when they have received so much love. And they say, oh, am I the one that is this deserving of this kind of love? I think I really now believe that I am loved and I deserve love. And I truly believe there's greatness in me. And so the final chapter of the book was now really now the one that now detailed the story about how I now met this guy that was now what I was familiar with. When you're familiar, and I teach in my Bliss Readiness course, or maybe we are having, for example, Bliss Readiness Beach Hangout, or we are having our breakfast hangout. And I tell people that if you notice, you attract what you're familiar with.
Yeah. You don't attract what you want. Is what
exactly. So when this guy was obviously narcissistic.
It was there.
But the point is that my dad was exactly like that. The same road rage.
People often look for someone like their dad. I've noticed that
every girl is unconsciously looking to marry her dad. Every boy is unconsciously looking forward to marrying her mom. But I didn't know all of this then. Now, when he came, and I wrote it in my book, why was that the first guy I said yes to? Do you understand?
Wow.
But it was because it was familiar.
You were comfortable with familiar.
Exactly. It is not see, we are never comfortable with growth. Growth is not comfortable. Exactly. So I had to now detail the story of how I met this guy. This was the situation surrounding the guy. The first 3 weeks of the relationship, like every abusive relationship, will start with love bombing. They will love bomb you. You will never ever believe that anybody can love you like this.
And then all of a sudden,
the switch, you just be wondering, is it the same person? Am I doing something wrong? Is it me, my sister or my brother? If you're in that shoes, don't worry, you're not the problem. And that's why we tell people when I'm doing premarital counseling, I tell people that there is a reason why someone will produce a product and tell you, I give you 2-year warranty. I give you 10-year warranty. I'm telling you, go and prove my product. And if it has any, give it time. Time reveals the genuinity of things. Time reveals the genuinity of anything. See, I recently have a friend that I'm calling somebody's son. And each time people say, oh, greatness, you're not engaged. I say, I'm not engaged. I only have a friend. But you guys are, you call him your baby. Yeah, but time reveals things. I'm going to give it time to prove that it's really who is proving is showing. Yes, I am no longer naive like the me that cancelled my wedding. No, that I would just see you and immediately I'll be running to God to pray. There's no need to pray. Allow time to reveal this person. I thought so. I said, this is the first person that I am friends with him. I have never prayed about him. Yes, I've known him since 2017. So he's not an entirely stranger, right? But the normal me, before I met the guy that I almost got married to and canceled my wedding, immediately I meet you, I will first go and pray, God, what is the role of this person in my life? No, calm down. Take time. Allow time to reveal things. So, of course, as things were going on, I was seeing all the red flags. I've done several webinars on red flags. Lagos Business School even invited me to come and speak on red flags.
Red flags. It's such a big thing.
It is.
And the subtle ones that you can't even see.
So I started seeing the red flags. I knew that something was not right. And if you are in an unhealthy relationship, you will know when things are not right. That's the truth. Because when you're in a healthy relationship, you are empowered.
Yeah.
You feel like you are unstoppable. We are talking about becoming the unstoppable woman. You feel like I can conquer the world with this person by my side. You feel like, oh yeah, this is the best version of me. You know, the greater version of you evolves when you're in the right relationship. But when you are in an unhealthy relationship, the reverse is the case. You are even worse than how they met
than how the person met you.
Becoming miserable by the day. You are looking for yourself like, please, where is the me? Where is greatness? Do you understand?
Yeah.
So basically, that's that about the story.
Wow. That is loaded. But how were you able to? Because it's a different thing to tell everybody, okay, I'm calling off my wedding. I'm done. How were you able to move on from that point? How were you able to move on from
you
that
mean
point?
Moving on?
Because moving on, even because I can imagine your mindset was in shambles. Like,
absolutely.
All over the place. Because coming out of that, to start with, people are telling you, you made a mistake, you shouldn't have called a wedding. We could have settled it. We could have talked about it. We could have, people would have been telling you different counsels. After we're like, you know what, people just leave me alone.
Yeah.
So how were you able to move past that phase of your life?
Okay, so if I'm getting you correctly, is the moving past the phase of after I cancelled my wedding? That's what you're asking.
After you cancelled your wedding.
Okay, so I mean, I am one person that before I make a decision, I mean, one of the skills that I told you, I was trained by the United Nations to work with teenagers, and one of the life skills I teach is decision-making skills. Now, before you make a decision, you consider the pros and cons. Every time I teach people how to make informed decision. Now, when I make an informed decision, before I make the decision, yes, I can seek counsel. I believe that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Now, one of the red flags, and I'll just give you this for free, I mean, to the watchers, obviously not you. One of the red flags in a relationship, in an unhealthy relationship, is that the person tries to isolate you, and they will tell you, don't tell anybody what is going on in this relationship. So
that's their number one trick.
Now,
take everybody away from you.
The me that people think I am outspoken. Oh yeah, I could be outspoken. Let me use that word. But what they don't know also is that I could also be very, very, very. I could only review what I want you to know. And I tell people, what you see on social media is not all there is to people. There is 1,001 things that they are not
things they don't want you to know. You won't see it.
So I never told anybody what was going on in that relationship until the 1st of May, when we met the objective professional counselor. My words were very specific, objective and professional. So when I met the objective professional counselor and I saw that I was not the problem all this while, I then knew that, okay, so now, all the while, greatness, you have been right. You were not the problem. Yes, my dad objected it to say, no, nobody will love you like your father. And I hope you guys know that that's relative, right? Yeah. Nobody will love you like your father is not always true.
But how does your father love you?
Thank you. So if you know that your father is a narcissistic person, or your father is not even self-aware to love himself unconditionally, let alone loving you unconditionally, that statement does not apply to you. So I still believed. And the 2nd of May, they bundled me to immigration, did capturing. All this thing that they say you cannot do capturing in one day is a lie. In this Nigeria, once you have the money, you will do anything. So they did capturing for me. We're going to fly out of Nigeria immediately after the wedding. So on the 3rd of May, I knew that I needed to meet another person that I now trust his judgment.
Yeah.
To say, this person is like a father to me. If Pastor Shalaba Mogunje tells me not to go ahead with this wedding, I will cancel it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what happens. I'm going to cancel it. But if he says I should go ahead, this man has paid my rent. I was homeless. I was sleeping in my office toilet. He told me, go and check for a house and tell me the amount of the house. The me that I was abused sexually, I was thinking he was going to come and know
maybe
the house.
There was something in it for him.
Do you understand? He never asked me for the address of the house. He sent me the full money and even beyond the money for the house. Until today, I can say it anywhere, that man showed me the fatherhood of God. Because I was lacking the knowledge of the fatherhood of God, right? And so it was easy for me to trust his judgment. And if you have not shown people love, please don't be giving them counsel. Who are you? You've not earned their trust for them to take your counsel. Do you understand? So yes, I have gotten a professional and objective counsel, but then I now went to someone and I trust that this man loves me like a father would love his daughter. I told him everything from the beginning to the end to say, you are the chairman of this wedding. These are the things that were happening in the courtship. I was not aware that I was not the problem because he gaslighted me. I consistently doubted my reality. If you are in a relationship with a narcissistic person, you will consistently doubt yourself. You will always tell yourself, no, I'm not making sense, because each time you go back to the person and say, oh, I feel you are doing this to me, they will gaslight you and make you doubt your reality. Do you understand? And so I have become a shadow of myself, that I no longer trust my own judgment.
Trust your judgment of yourself.
Exactly. So I met Pastor Shola and I said, Daddy, this is from the beginning to on the 1st of May. This is what is happening. I'm telling you the truth. What do you think? And he said to me, greatness, then I've not written a book about my story. He said, all your life you have been suffering. You have been through hell. Do you think God that sent Jesus to die for your sin will give you this kind of man?
That's a big one.
Romans 8:32 says, if you could not withhold Jesus from me, how shall he not with him also freely give me all things? All things include a good husband. All things include a caring husband. All things include a man that will love me unconditionally and help me to evolve and unleash my greatness. Not the one that was telling me to shut down everything God has instructed me to do.
Wow.
And I got to that decision.
That was a confirmation for you.
Exactly. You see, when I make my decision, nobody can change my mind. You need to be that resolute with yourself, to trust yourself. The unstoppable woman is the woman that trusts her own judgment, to say, I took an informed decision and nobody can change my mind. I took an informed decision and nothing. I came to Abuja without knowing anybody. When I was booking my flight to relocate from Lagos to Abuja and start, based on instruction, I did not have an accommodation of where I was going to land. Do you understand?
Wow.
I'm not joking. But because I heard God and I was convinced, I booked my flight by the way. So the unstoppable woman is one that believes that I heard God. It's not my pastor told me. It's not my
It is you knowing God for yourself and hearing
Absolutely.
yourself.
So you have to get to that place where I have taken decision of my own. I have seen the repercussion. When I lost my previous accommodation to flood, that very night that it happened, I was doing a webinar. I was live on Zoom doing a webinar. Yes. The woman was like, greatness, are you a normal human being? Are you all right? I said, that is a distraction. So the unstoppable woman is the woman that is convinced in her assignment. You are not deterred by distraction, because distractions will come. You don't want to know
a lot of them.
Ways, exactly. Positive distraction, negative ones will come. And so it was just a normal thing. The first thing I said was, I'm going to start calling my vendors to see if I can get any money, because I had spent all my savings on the wedding preparation. This guy did not give me one kobo to say, take this money for wedding preparation.
Wow.
And so when people ask me, oh, did you think about what people will say? It never crossed my mind. I left my parents.
Think about what people will say when your life is on the line.
Exactly right.
You are talking about suicidal like thoughts, and people are asking
it
what
did not even cross my mind. It did not cross my mind because I said something to people. I said I left my parents in 2008. I wasn't even 18 yet. I lived on the street. I have slept in buses. I've never said this. It's not even in my book. I've slept in buses or public transport. Like at night, once night is coming, I would wait for the night to be very dark. I would look for buses that they forgot to lock the buses. Yes. And I would lay a cloth and I would sleep there. I've slept sitting down under the tree before, just waiting for the morning to come so that the day can break and I can get a public place to just lie down. So I went through all of that without nobody showing up for me except God and sending destiny helpers to me. And you think I would think of what people will say? No, I don't think of what people will say. I have built resilience through my pain. I've learned that my pain don't define me. It has actually helped me. It has become my leverage. So the unstoppable woman is one that says, my pain is not my excuse for not unleashing my greatness. It is my leverage. It is my stepping stone to say, this is even the hedge I have above every other person. Chude told me that the money, in fact, till last week, they still told me, till now, my interview with him gave him the highest money and the highest number of.
Wow.
Yes. So it is knowing that you are so unique, you're so special. Your story is not that of everybody. We are similar, but yet we are different. Yeah. And so prioritize that thing that makes you so strong. Don't allow people to remember where I started from. When abuse happens, you enable it. And that's why I tell people my book is not about the guy. It's about me. I allowed it. I tolerated it. But these are the lessons that I think if you are a parent, it is first for you about how are you shaping the gifts that God gave you. Because this will become an adult that will make an informed decision. Yeah. Are you going to say that your daughter should marry a man like you? If he's a boy, are you going to say that this son should marry a woman like you? You have to make that intentional decision. And if you are the one that, you have been raised in a dysfunctional way, and right now you are now like, okay, greatness, I hear you. This is even where I am right now. Take responsibility for your healing. Take responsibility for your emotional recovery. I mean, when I was invited to speak on Channels TV on emotional recovery, I just thought it is your responsibility. At the end of the day, your parents did the best. They did the best with the level of knowledge they have. If they knew better, they would have done better. So that's it.
Yeah, you are so right. I often say that to people, that people function based on the level of light that they have. So, like I tell the youth, I tell them that parents are not that they're perfect, but based on what they know is only what they can use to function. So they can only train based on what they do. So the more they know, the better they will do. But for what they do right now, that's how they're feeling. Wow. You unpack so many things.
Thank you.
I'm like, people should go. In fact, I'm going to put a link for people to get the book, because I know you have them on Amazon as well.
Yeah.
So, is it on Seller or Okada books as well? People want to
Yes. So it's on Seller and Okada book. Although I don't have Lemonade book on Okada book, but we can make that happen this week.
So people can get, because I think even really, if you, like for example, there's somebody listening or watching, and you feel like this is describing you, you might want to go and pick up the book. You might want to pick up the books. Because the first book is talking about how you started, the journey started. The second book, From Lemons to Lemon, it talks about how you were able to deal with that abuse, and how the things that you need to watch out for, and how you come out of it. So people want to just say, I'm in this position, let me go and get this book so that I can learn on the pain. In fact, as you were sharing, I was just like, wow. And I'm going to ask you a question. We were talking at the start of the book, I was saying that because you have a lot of certifications, How were you able? Because I know that I also talk a lot about people unleashing themselves, because I have gone through, I for the longest time, I put myself in that place where I limited myself because of a mindset thing. You feel you can't do it, and you also let people limit you. How were you able to break free of those limitations of I cannot soar? Thank God for that first guy that saw so much in you. But imagine this second guy came along now and just messed up everything that first guy said. So how were you able to get back to the, almost we say, the original you and the greatness that was hiding?
I love that question.
How were you able to unleash it?
Thank you. So, I mean, the final chapter of this, my Lemonade book, From Lemon to Lemonade, How to Use Your Pain to Unleash Your Greatness, I detail on the roles of the different behavioral sciences. Coaching, therapy, mentoring, counseling. You see, all of these things, I will tell you the truth that I didn't do it on my own. They all played a factor in it. Yes, I number one, I will tell you God. God.
You've answered one of my questions here. Says, what part did God play in this story?
Okay.
You're even answering it.
So let me leave that to then. So God, number one. I mean, when I wrote How to Use Your Pain to Unleash Your Greatness, I tell people the syrup you mix with a bitter lemon to make the bitter lemon to become lemonade is the love of God. Understanding that God loves me unconditionally, and He created me to be a lady. My atlas just fell. To be a lady of global and eternal influence is something you need to be consistently reminding yourself of. Abuse will come, issues will come, bitter lemon experience will come to make you doubt the fact that you're really wired for greatness. But the point is, consistently reminding yourself. Now, if you look at, let me tilt my camera up. So you can see that's Joyce Meyer's picture and her husband.
One of my mentors.
Exactly. Now, so you see, I intentionally put these people's pictures in my room to consistently remind me of who I am. I am not my past. I am not my present, right? And so these are the things I do. And I've mentioned that coaching, I have a coach. Therapy, I have therapists. Mentors, I have a lot of mentors. Counselors. So basically, prayerfully choose these people. Hire coach. When I was going to, I'm the
Please
first
tell it,
author,
amplify it. People think we don't need it.
In my lineage, as that even today, I'm still the only author in my lineage, both my father and mother's side. Wow. I knew that I had to break a generational curse. Is it a curse that nobody, both my father and nobody is an author? Wow. I had to hire a coach. So the point is, maximize these people. I am a coach myself, but I will not say, I have to self-coach myself. Yes, I self-coach myself at some times, but the point is there's a level that you just know that, I need someone to lift me up. So that's that. I've talked about God. I've talked about the love of God. Good people. I am blessed with the gift of people. As much as I've been hurt and wounded by people, I've also been blessed and I've been healed by people. I talked about healing relationships in this book. So healing relationships also helps me. But should I tell you the ultimate thing? At the foundation of this thing is my belief. I believe that I'm unstoppable. I don't believe that. Yes, I don't believe anything or anyone can limit me. I remember after I canceled the wedding and we were legally married. So I needed to annul the legal marriage. And I just
because you had done the court's wedding.
Exactly. So, and I went back to Ikoyi registry to see the registrar of Ikoyi registry to say, please, I need guidance, I need counsel on how to go about this. And he told me to give him the guy's number. And he called him and said, your wife is here. Obviously, legally, to them, we were married, right? It was just that the marriage was not consummated. And if you're a Christian, and I want to beg you, you're a Christian, you believe, if you're not a Christian, this does not apply to you, and I'm not talking to you. If you're a Christian, be a child of God. God that told us to abstain from sexual sin is for our own good. Because
He knows why He's saying so.
If we had sex, that marriage would have been consummated. I would have been a divorcee today. But because we did not have sex, it was not consummated. So it was not a marriage. It was just something that happened that can be rendered null and void. And
so that was how God saved you. So sometimes there are things that God is the commandments. There's a reason for those commandments.
Mrs. Olubode, it is not sometimes. All the time God gives an instruction. It's actually for
there's a reason.
All the time. So I mean, I have always have the value, but I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I'm not a saint. But what I'm saying is that I have just believed consistently that if God gives this instruction, it's really for my good. And I don't believe, and I just believe that, okay, God, if you honor God with your body, is going to honor you. That's just point. So now, when he called him and he came to the registry to have a conversation, I will never forget what the man said. He said, I don't know what you're trying to do with this girl, but what you want to do will not work. Her head is so strong, and I would just advise you to let her go. Now, this is somebody that we have been begging him to please let me go, and he was threatening me. He's going to rape me anywhere because I'm legally his wife and all of that. And for the first time, he just succumbed and said, okay, I hear you, and I'm wondering, are you serious? Is it that simple? So, yes. So till now, I don't know what that statement meant. I don't know what it is. But the point is, I have decided that I'm unstoppable. Yes, that marriage would have stopped me. I would have died. That's why I titled my book, Rescued by Love, why I cancelled my wedding. People want to know why I cancelled my wedding, but I say I was rescued by the love of God. It was the knowledge of the love of God for me that makes me believe I'm unstoppable. That makes me... So it is now that belief that I am unstoppable that also now informs...
That has spurred you on.
Exactly. So that's what informs what skill do I lack that I need to acquire training for? What knowledge do I lack that I need to acquire knowledge for? What attitude do I need to develop that I need to... Do you understand? So it is on the foundation of my mindset and my belief. So that's why in my book is not just my story. I have self-coaching questions in it. I have self-therapeutic questions in it. I have affirmations in it. And it was strategic to say, I want to help you to audit your own beliefs. What are the beliefs you have that have limited you? Because ultimately, we are limited by our belief. The Bible says,
whatever we believe, that is it.
All things are possible to him that believes.
To him that believes, yeah. If you don't believe it, that's it. There's really nothing. Just have to ask them every time you ask them, do you believe I can heal you? Do you? He would always ask them for healing. Because once you don't believe it, don't even bother asking.
Exactly, right?
It's not going to happen.
True.
I quote that scripture so much, Mark 9:23, in different versions. In fact, there was one he said, to him that is a believer, there is no ifs. So, it's what really determines what you're going to do. So once the belief is wrong, every other thing is going to be that belief.
Yes.
So you had that belief that you were unstoppable, and that has spurred you on now to just keep going. To just keep going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So each time we go down and we say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. Trust me, sometimes you need a voice. So that voice could be a friend that believes in you. So we all need someone that looks at us all the time and is not defining you based on where you live, based on where you are. And that's why when I say I was born to help you unleash your greatness, irrespective of your past and present, is that you cannot consistently be defined. If you are with someone that is consistently focusing on your past or your present, the person is not going to help you to move to the future. Yeah. So you need people, you need that voice. So it could be, I mean, there are different ways we do it in coaching. Sometimes in coaching sessions, I ask my clients, who is that person that you trust the most in this world? And they tell me the name. I say, what will that person tell you at this instant? They get their answer. Do you understand? So you know someone, and there are some people that you could be that person to someone else. So I mean, just be that person to people, you know. So it was basically at the foundation of my belief, my mindset, and the blessing of the right people around me. I ask questions a lot. If you don't ask questions, you won't get wisdom. Ask questions from the right people. From mature people. And I broke down maturity as an acronym in my Lemonade book to say someone that makes articulate, trusted, unbiased, responsive decision. That is like an acronym that I broke it down. Ensure that you have that voice that you trust. So if you want to start with the Holy Spirit, is the best and perfect person. Yeah,
Yes.
he's the perfect person because he will be the one to choose the right people you need for each season of your life.
Yeah.
And the mistake we make is that people sometimes are in our life for a season.
And he will know when the season is done. So you also need to inquire when things start going wrong. Maybe that season is done, and you are the one pushing that relationship. Meanwhile, it's meant to be finished.
Yeah. So that's it.
Ooh, you've given us so much. People now, you kind of salivated our appetite to go and get the books. I believe you will be able to get more. But I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. You still have any question?
I'm being vulnerable. The only other question I would say to you in your closing remarks is for that woman, and really it's just for that woman out there that is saying, I feel like I'm where you were. How do I start this journey of leveraging on the pain I am? Because for some people it's still raw right now. How do I leverage on that pain and start to dig out my path of greatness? How do I? So just in your
like I mentioned to you, the truth is you might not be able to do it alone. That's the truth. Because I remember my coach had to tell me that irrespective of what had happened to you, so there are different coaching techniques that we use. There's centering, there's envisioning. Envisioning is basically I take you from where you are and I connect you to your core.
Yeah.
Because the truth is that your spirit man, or what some people like to call the unconscious man, he actually believes that there's greatness in you. Yeah. So when we take you through a centering and envisioning exercise, we take you to that core and dig out what can you see from your future. So when we bring you back to the present, while I'm taking you through that coaching exercise, I'm asking you questions that you are no longer seeing yourself based on your past and even your present. So that's why, but you can do it for yourself. I do it for myself. When I notice that I'm sinking into depression, I'm sinking into, my past is defining me. There's a friend I have, and what I noticed was that when we became friends, it was empowering. It was it was really empowering me. Now, at a point, it started defining me based on my past, based on my present. I picked it and I said to him one day, I said, stop doing that. You are disempowering me. You are making me feel weak. So you need that voice. So you could be that person to yourself. But like I said to you, the foundation, let God's word, the Bible. If you don't believe in all these things, then do what works for you. That's what I would advise you. Do what works for you today. What works for me? Because I'm not you. I have not lived your life. I don't know what works. So for me, is
awesome.
I just go back to songs that talks about the fatherhood of God for me. Songs that worship songs that remind me how God loves me unconditionally. I remind myself of times where, if you read my book, Rescued by Love, Why I Cancel My Wedding, you see how I translated from being an atheist to who I am today, to a believer in God. So
praise God.
A random stranger just passed. I was talking and I said, if there is a God, I was running from the rain. I was homeless. So I was in front of a shop and I was there And a man just came and was playing this Don Wen song. I will never forget that day, 30th of July 2009. He never sleeps, he never slumbers, he's never tired of you. And the song was playing from the beginning. When you've prayed every prayer that you know how to pray, just remember. Now, I was irritated by the song. I said, which God? There's no God. God that took my father from me. They said my father, that God called him into full-time ministry. Then my loving father became a beast. I cannot relate. There's no God. So I told the guy to stop playing the song. At least you met me here. That song is irritating me. He said, in fact, he increased the volume. You know when God is running after you and God is just chasing you.
Just to rescue you.
I know, right? That's why my book is Rescued by Love. And the point is, I left him under the rain. I said, I'd rather be under the rain and the rain will beat me than listen to this song. And you know, God broke me to the point where the rain in me now it was beating me. And I was like, if there is a God, I need him to show up right now. And a random stranger, one Toyota Camry just parked, and the guy said, God said I should show you unconditional love.
Said that to you. Wow.
When you read my book, you will see the story there. I've seen God showed up for me. I can no longer doubt that there is God. I have seen God demonstrated his fatherhood to me. If he's a good father and he created me for his pleasure, to give him pleasure, why will I think that there's no greatness in me? Why will I think that I'm limited by my past? I told someone, I said, the fact that you are around me right now and you're living my dreams, you are a billionaire, you have houses in every city, you have, these are not houses that you're renting, you are even renting houses. I said, you say I don't ask you for things. I don't ask you not because I don't have needs, but because I see you. Every time I see you, I tell myself, the God that lifted this man, that did not
he's coming to do it to me.
Exactly. He went to school without slippers. He was hawking, is it pure water or bread? I said, that is a confirmation. Me, I am not hawking now. Abba is going to take me to where you are. So you also need figures. If you have read Jasmia's story, you have read these people. So you need to listen to stories of people that basically are living your dreams. Draw inspiration and strength from them to say, if this is happening to them, then truly, I can become unstoppable. I can still unleash my greatness, irrespective of my past and present.
Ooh. Wow. I'm not even going to ask any more questions. I'm just going to ask, how can people connect with you? How can people connect with your coaching programs?
So my Instagram is the perfect way to get me. That's how she got me. If she had used WhatsApp, somebody asked me to send my account details on WhatsApp. That was June last year, my birthday. I saw it September. She asked me June
2022.
June the previous year. I saw it September the next year.
Wow.
Exactly. Yes. So that's like 1 year and 3 months. And I told her, I said, do you know that if you were asking me for something for yourself, you would think I intentionally ignored it. So go on Instagram, greatness ATO, greatness, then add ATO. Basically, if you go on Google and you type greatness Olorunfemi, you will see all my social media handles will come out. But the best way to catch me, Instagram DM. You will catch me there live and direct. My website.
I know. That's how I got you. Any coaching programs you have that people can sign up for, everything, you can find everything on Instagram as well.
My Instagram bio has a link.
So your link tree should be on there.
Yes,
people can sign up. Okay, so Instagram. I will put the Instagram link.
Yes, so on my Instagram, you're going to see all my. I am going to call you back. Sorry, a call came in and I don't want to. Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yes. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. It's been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm most grateful. I know from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for just, helping, because I know this is going to be a big help to people.
And thank you for hosting me as well. Thank you for helping women to be unstoppable. A lot of women have been stopped. I have seen women that were on fire. They've lost their fire. I could have been them. That's why I'm doing this. I could have actually been them. Each time I see such women, I tell myself, greatness, this could have been you, but you were rescued by love. So out of the love I have received is why I'm doing this, to say, please come out of your hiding, come out of your shell. You can still unleash your greatness. Thank you, Mrs. Olabode, for doing this. And thank you for all that you do. So I have several products. Once you go to my Instagram, check the link in my bio.
I'll put the link there so people can connect.
Yes.
Connect with those, because some people might need coaching even from this session.
Yes.
Some people might, whatever you need, at least that way, once they connect with you on Instagram, every other thing.
You can get any of my services. Yes, please.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you. I'll see you next week. And it's bye from us now. Bye, everyone.
Any final words from you? You did not give final words.
You are my guest. You are the one with the final words. The final words is that we are going to be watching another Unstoppable Woman next week. That's my final words.
Great. Thank you, Mrs. Olabode, for hosting me.